All right, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Welcome, welcome. We are here and we are back, like I promised. 3 days straight, 3 days straight, and well, I ain't gonna say 3 days primarily straight, but we have been doing what we've been doing. Um, it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be a roughly a daily, not affirmation, but a daily quest to go ahead and do this on the regular, a marketing meeting, you know what I mean, per se. But any brand or anything that you got going on, I think it's important to pub it every day. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important to talk about it every day. I think it's important to bring it up every day in conversation. It's like that song. And you might not like me. You might not like it for what I'm doing. Um, you might not like it. You may. But you know how it is, like with that one song that you listen to all the time. And before you know it, you be like, golly, you start to like it. But that's kind of how like marketing is. That's kind of how like marketing is. That's how life is. That's how perseverance is. Sometimes you got to be diligent. A lot of opportunities that I had gotten over the years or throughout my life is because I just knocked the door down. I mean, and when I mean knock the door, I mean just consistently I bug, you know what I mean, a person or an entity or a company until I get the opportunity, until they tell me no. You ain't a slow no is a slow yes to me, because if you constantly let people know or constantly let them know that you're there and what you're doing, they'll eventually probably call you out and want to work with you. So that's what I do. So I wanted to come today. The other day we talked about pushing it to the limit, and we talked about how certain things were pushing it to the limit. You could also, before I get started, before I really get started here, let me go ahead and let me share this on Facebook. Just share it for whoever might pop up. Instagram crowd, again, I'm sorry I can't see your comments at the moment, but I will the next time I do this bring my iPad or something like that so I can see your comments. I can only see comments for Facebook and YouTube, but I will be bringing that so I can go ahead and start to see you guys' comments. Also, I'll be having it in a different aspect ratio for you guys that's on Instagram, because Instagram, as you know, is a platform when it's just vertical like your phone, so you won't, you're not getting the full totality of basically the picture here. So I want to be able to give you on Instagram, because I know some people mess with Instagram. They don't really per se mess with Facebook or YouTube like that. Instagram. So I want to be able to facilitate and be equally. I want to be equally kind to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So Instagram folks, whoever's watching on Instagram right now, understand that I will, next time I come, I'll have this set up to the way that it's vertical, it's horizontal looking or whatever for you guys, so I can't see your comments. So, but back to the lecture at hand. Also on Instagram, we only got 1 hour to live stream, because on Instagram it gives you a 1 hour window. So also that I'm offering that platform now with the pod, also it's a 1 hour basically window to do live streams with Instagram. So just know that moving forward. All right, guys. So last other day we went to pushing it to the limit. That's what the talk was about. Pushing it to the limit. We talked about self-doubt. I'll be writing this down. I got my little Dollar General joint, self-doubt, premature exposure to others, telling people you're playing too early. Sometimes it's just, you shouldn't even mention what you want to do to other people. Sometimes words hold power, and words hold power. So a lot of times when you release them from your mouth, you know what I mean, they start to lose power immediately. It's almost like a car sometimes. As soon as you buy it, as soon as you get the car and you drive it off the lot, it's called a depreciating asset, or so we got to be careful who we share the information with and when. Sometimes it's just too fast. Resources, lack thereof, and procrastination. So those were 4 things that we talked about. So this week, I keep saying this week like I'm doing it once a week. On this marketing meeting today, fam, board members, or participants, we're going to talk about creativity. And if you want to chime in, you can. Again, Instagram, I'm so sorry. I might have to go on Instagram on my phone. Hey, Miss Mary Kay, thank you. So we talk about creativity today. I'm erasing. And I'm going to open up the phone lines like maybe the last 20 minutes of the talk today. And maybe, you guys can chime in. All right. So today, this is meeting to all my board members and to all of my participants, you know what I'm saying, or all the people that's in attendance. Today's meeting is about creativity. Creativity. Now, where does creativity come from? Creativity comes from within. You can get inspired by others. You can, and which is good. We all get inspired by others. But creativity, each one of us have that in a measure of it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't believe that they're creative, but if you're a living soul, which you are, if you're listening to this, you have creativity embodied in you. And it's something that's in you that you can do special things and great things. Let me turn this back up, okay? You can do great things and special things, but you got to believe that you can do it. You got to believe that your ideas is just as important or just as great as the next person's. So you have to believe in your creativity. Now, one thing about creativity that I know is a bullet point that I want to put down. And what is that, team? Oh, I see you over there raising your hand. I see you. Not originality. 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 The first thing with being creative is you have to be original. You have to be original. Original thought. Original thought. And there's no thought there's nothing new up under the sun, but there's a variation of thoughts. So you can have a thought to, do something that somebody else done, but we all have a special way of putting our own twist to it that makes it ours. Okay. One thing I hate is a idea stealer. I'll be honest with you. I do hate certain things, and it's okay to hate certain things. It's okay to hate. People say you should never hate. Yeah, you should. You should hate on things because, like, God hates things. Why can't you hate things? You know what I mean? You are an extension, I believe, of that. So there's okay to hate certain things or hate things. And people that steal ideas are just, to me, are just rotten to the core. I remember it was a guy that stole. I'm gonna give you guys a prime example of originality, but no thought that's the same. I didn't come up with it more or less per se, the original idea, but I put my twist to it. So a long time ago, to make things short and quick, 6th grade, I was in the band. I played the saxophone. There was a part that was for the trombone, but the trombone player could not get it. The trombone player couldn't play it right. So by ear, I listened to the trombone. I asked for the trombone sheet music, which is different from the saxophone, different notes and everything. Same notes, but different, ways of playing it. So I got the sheet music. I took it home and I had to configure that sheet music for the trombone converted over to the saxophone. So I took that idea and made it an original idea for the saxophone, and I played it. And then I had some guy right next to me steal my idea while I was playing it. He writing down the notes. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say a dream stealer, but somebody that they steal ideas. I hate people that steal ideas. You can do your own. You can have a variation of what people do, but you have to have a twist to it. There's no idea that's original. So in this meeting, I want y'all to understand that creativity, the main component of creativity, and whoever pops in, I please ask you that you go ahead and share this meeting. This is the pod. We having a meeting, and this is our daily, close to being daily meeting. So today's meeting is on creativity, and originality is a key component to creativity. Anybody out there watching, can you give me another one? This is also a participation. Facebook, YouTube. I am so sorry that I can't get Instagram. Let me see. I'm gonna go on Instagram on my phone. I just want to make sure if I can, I just don't want to block anybody out from. No, I can't see my own account on Instagram. I have to have a ghost account actually to see what's going on as far as Instagram. So what's another component of creativity? I give you 15 seconds, and if I don't hear anything in 15 seconds, I will go ahead and go to the next bullet point. And I'm thinking right now, because I'm doing this on the fly with you guys right now. So number one, originality, creativity. Number two, what's number two? And if you're on also on Instagram, you can catch me at Pontiac Sante on YouTube. And if you're on Instagram and you want to go over to Facebook, you can go to Asante Lucas. As simple as that. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nobody answered. Okay, cool. So that's all good. So the first one, originality. What can I say the second one is for me with creativity? I say balance. That just popped in my head, balance. And what does balance mean to me? We got originality and balance. So creativity, I got down first. Number one for me is originality for creativity. The second thing for creativity to me is balance. And I think I understand why balance has come to me. Because you had to have almost kind of a balanced train of thought when it comes to creativity. You have to weigh the pros and the cons of this idea. You have to look at the right and the left, the yin and the yang of any idea of creativity that you come up with. What is the pros of this idea and this concept? What's up, Nas? What's the pros of this concept? Yo, you at work, boy. What's the pros of this concept? What are the negatives of this concept? What is the effort that I have to put into this concept? What is the uneffort of this concept? So, and also the balance of your life, work schedule or life, family schedule, work life. You got to look at the balance of the creativity. You know, where it fits in and how it fits in and what you're trying to do. You just got to look at things in a balanced way. After that initial creative idea come to you, then you can be able to go ahead and start to figure things out like, okay, this goes here. This is how to work it out, how to manifest that idea. And now that I said the third one, I ain't going to wait on you. Manifest. That's the third one. So key component to creativity is originality for me. Now, this could be different for you, but think of your mental notes for yourself. Number one, for me, for creativity is originality. Okay? Balance. We just spoke about balance. And then manifesting or manifestation. So when I get that creative thought, I do, as far as for me, I think about how original this, how can I make this an original Shantae thing? Like what I'm doing is the podcast studio. What I'm doing is coming up with a way to be able to share my ideas and be able to produce a product or produce a way to be able to help people with their podcasting journey or their broadcasting, or not only just their broadcasting, making, having a space to do something like this, but how can I make it original with a twist? So each time that you come up with your idea, you got to make a way of how can that originality? Well, what did I do? I made certain products with this podcasting studio that will allow to have a unique product selection for people. Okay, that's one way I can do it. Number two, what else could I do? Certain attributes or certain things I can offer outside of that, or a certain vibe, quote unquote, experience they get when they get here. That's another original. They can get this type of feeling where they get they get a certain type of feeling here that they don't get at another studio. Feeling is a real great big thing, and I'm gonna actually put that at the last as my number 4, the feeling. So after all of that, thinking of that original thought, then I'm thinking with my creative process going to balance the yin and the yang. How would this benefit? How would this devalue? Would this devalue, or would this be an asset, or would this benefit or not benefit me? How can I implement this? It's the balance. It's the thought pattern of how you're thinking about things all together, how it form and fit in your life. So that's the other part of creativity for me. Okay. And after all that doing and thinking about all that type of stuff, what I thought about the original thought, trying to balance it out, how it's going to work. Then the third part of that to me is manifesting. All right. Meeting. This is the meeting, y'all. This the every other day meeting. I'm going to put it like this, the every other day meeting. I ain't going to say the daily meeting. This the every other day meeting. I'm about to write that down. See, that's how ideas and creativity form right there. Instead of experimentation, my son put that, experimentation. Yes, I'm going to put that as a side. No, experimentation. Thank you, son. Experimentation. So let me call this the every other day meeting. That's the name of this. The every other day meeting. I like this. That's the name of what I'm doing right here. See, this kind of goes back to what I was saying the other day, y'all. And I don't want to break continuity to what I'm talking about. But you see, when you start doing, or you start living, or you start putting your foot forward to the stuff that you say you want to do, and you got to be careful who you share those types of things with. But when you start doing the stuff that you want to do, you start coming up with cool ideas. Creativeness comes when you start doing what you want to do. As you start doing what you want to do, things start to pop up in your mind, how to do them and how to word them, how to put them together. You can't sit back all the time and just like thinking ideas going to come to you. You have to start your thing. You have to start your journey. You have to start and then as you go, creative ideas start to come with them. And people will jump on board with them, or people might not jump on board with them. And that's fine if they do or if they don't. But you got to continue to do what you got to do in order to make that happen. And I love being creative. Hold on one second. Oh, I don't know what happened. I hit my camera. But I hit the wrong button. My bad, y'all. But you got to be doing stuff in order for your ideas to take fruition, for the creative juices to flow, for God to work through it or through you. So now I done came up with the doggone name of what I'm doing now, because I didn't want to put such of an obligation on myself to say I'm coming every day. But I like this, the every other day show, the every other day meeting, or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna stir that down and boil that down into a nice little something sweet. I like that though. The every other day, I'm keeping that. I don't know if it's gonna be meeting or a show. The every other, you don't know when I might pop up, but I'm popping up. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You got to start. So that's what the part of being creative is all about. You know what I mean? Things just come to you and it makes sense. The every other day meeting, the every other day show. So now I ain't got to put a rush on myself to come every single day, because that'll be a lot for me to come every single day. I'll be having, clients and things that I'm trying to do, family and blah, blah, blah. So I can't come every day like I really want to, but every other day I'm for sure to come. You know what I mean? So I'm with that. So number 1, originality. Number 2, for creativity, balance. Number 3 is manifestation and experimentation. That's from my son right there. I really appreciate you, dog. You start to manifest things. And as you start to manifest your ideas, or you start to work on your ideas and you start working on your plan, when you start working on your plan, then you start experimenting with different little parts of your plan. You know what I'm saying? And then after you start doing all of that is in the pot, and you working, boy, you working, things is happening, you seeing some movement. What do you do after that? It's the feeling. You sit back and you feel how it feels. Feel how it feels. You know, just sit back and feel how it feels. Like, okay, does this feel right? If it does feel right, you build onto it, and it really it starts back over at the square one again. Okay, this feels right, or it don't quite feel right. So you go back to number one again. Let's think of some more original ideas to make this better. Balance. Does it fit in my life? Does it fit in the pros and the cons? Do it fit in what I'm trying to do? Then you manifest that again, and you experiment with it again. You sit back and you feel how it feel. And I'm like, yo, and if it feel right, and I think that's the process that I use. And it could be a great process for you. So, I'm going to open the phone lines, and with that being said, I'm going to open the phone lines. If you like to call, you can definitely call. We can talk about it. I don't know who's watching on Facebook right now, but if you would like to call, you can call. But this is the every other day meeting from ThePod. So again, I'm going to come and I'm going to talk about certain things that's promoting the pod and what the pod is doing. But my whole premise of doing this is really is to market and promote what I'm doing, but also get you to think, a trigger for you to think about what it is that you want to do. Because I'm a great proponent of doing the things that you want to do. That's all life is really about. We don't have a whole lot of time, not a lot at all. And it's very important that you at least do what you want to do. It's okay to help people with their dreams or with their aspirations, but you got to spend a lot of time and more time on what you're trying to do, because that's when you become, actually, that's the reason why they came to you in the first place. Nobody's going to come to somebody that can't help them. They came to you because they saw you doing your own thing, and they said, that'd be a great asset for me to have in my life. So what you would do is wind up taking your time and talent, and you would take it to somewhere else, and you would leave it there more than you putting it onto you. And then after a while, you start to wonder, what are you doing for yourself? It'll become bothersome. So always use your talent 100% mostly on you, and then you use it on others. That way, you gotta do it in that order, or you're gonna find yourself miserable, unhappy, and mad at yourself or upset about things. So always keep that in perspective. You gotta be selfish. Keep you first. So, and I think that's what the next program is. Be selfish. Be selfish. Be selfish. I know that sounds crazy, oxymoronic or whatever, but be selfish. And we're going to talk about that in a good way. Be selfish. Being selfish is not being, like you can't do anything for anyone, but you have to take care of what it is that you're trying to do. So let me go ahead and put the number up real quick. Boom. And we can, talk about it if you want to. If not, I'll ramble on for like maybe 10 more minutes and call it a day with you guys. But let me go ahead and you can post a comment. I will very soon be able to, like I'm going to tell you even about the idea with using Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That's something that I've actually, that Facebook has made it, or Instagram has made it easy to do now. That's something that I was doing 5, 6 years ago, or harder about way. And it's still not the easiest to do as far as doing all three, but it was all a creative idea on how I could do it, stretch the platform. So now I'm working on TikTok. Now I'm working on TikTok to be able to get Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So I can go ahead and offer that to clients, And I'm gonna crack the code on that in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always working on ideas to be able to help and promote, oneself. But that's the number right there, 248-905-1128. If you would like to call, if you would like to make a comment on today's every other day meeting with the pod with Sante, which is creativity, is originality, balance, manifest in the feeling. And you can, even if you would like to, this is not a more or less of a show where something where I'm having guests, but if you would like to pop in and share with me on one of these days that I do this, you can do that. But we gonna that we cross that bridge when it comes. It's not a obligation. It's not a asking. If you want to do it, just reach out, and if it fit, then we'll do it. But 248-905-1128. 1128. But yeah, man, that's more or less that's how I feel about it. So think about what it is that you're trying to do, push it and market it. And all you can do is, even with marketing or pushing a product, a lot of companies, you see a ton of McDonald's commercials, you see a lot of commercials don't even work. They got to put them out there. McDonald's spend a lot of money, Burger King, Walmart, Target. A lot of companies spend a lot of money. Wingstop, they spend a lot of money on advertising and marketing. And not every marketing work. Not every tactic work. There's people that say they're gurus, and some people are. But the main thing about it is, whatever it is that you do, you just got to put it out there. If you build it, a lot of times they'll come because there's a need for it, or you wouldn't have made it. And there's a niche for it, or you wouldn't have thought of it. You know what I'm saying? Or implemented it into a process. So it's all about creating a process. So over the last, like I say, 6 or 7 months that I've been here, I've been working and honing the process of trying to, this is something that my buddy Gil Garrett, he says, trust the process. And Gil is 100% right about that. Again, Gil didn't make that up, but he embodies that. You know what I'm saying? Trust the process, because it's real. You got to trust the process, and you have to work a process. But before you can even work the process, you got to understand what the process is. So a lot of times you're going into something, you don't even know how to make it work. You know what I'm saying? And so when I came into this, I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew the concept, the overall concept, what I wanted it to be, how I wanted it to look, and I'm just now getting the grasp of it, because I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have anybody showing me how to do this. You know what I mean? I didn't have anybody. This all kind of came from the idea, the creativity of my mind, like, okay, in trial and error of what I'm doing right now. And now I can tell somebody, okay, you need this, 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 and that on a basic level. And then I can also tell them you need X, Y, and Z on a certain level. So, as you start to get doing things, you start getting the experience of how to do them. So then a process is created. And that's basically what I've gotten to the point of creating a process of how to do this. And I believe this process is going to be very successful. So far, so good. It's been successful so far. I just haven't had the 100% time to really put everything into it, but that's changing at this moment. You know what I'm saying? To be able to put the process in motion, 100%. So again, I'm gonna shout out the pod. We're located at 43700 Suite 40 on Woodward Avenue, Bloomfield, Michigan, right down the street from St. Joseph Hospital, right in front of St. George's church or cathedral, whatever you want to call it. Culture center, where people be having their parties and weddings and all that type of stuff. So it's a very nice building, very nice, comfortable, safe, smooth atmosphere, very quiet. So it's a good place to have your podcast. In the evenings is very low key, because this is more or less of a medical facility. There's a lot of doctors. There's a couple dentists in here. There's massage therapy in here. There's a couple of technology companies in here, but really after 5 or 6, I'm here on my own. You know what I mean? So that's when most podcasts will happen anyway. After 5, people get off work or on the weekend. So, you're able to be creative and be able to have a little extra oomph. If you have to get loud a little bit, you can do that. But it's cool here. I really appreciate it. So we have 43700 Woodward Road in Bloomfield, Michigan. Also, let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Effigy Media Arts is going to be opening up a drone academy. That's one thing that I wanted to get back to, and drone services. So that's coming back. I've been putting a lot of stock in getting my things together for that. That's one of the things that's the whole thing that really started this whole thing that I'm doing. So I'm going to get back into that. And, still, of course, doing promotional marketing films, doing light journalistic photography when needed or called upon. So we're still doing the same things, but now what more or less I'm implementing. Oh, there go Kia. Boom. Now we're just implementing more of a, more things to round it out. So I'm just thinking that, we might be done today. We done did 33 minutes. I done had a 2-minute countdown, and I think we done. All right. I'm going to give people last chance. Let me see. 248-905-1128. 248-905-1128. All right. So I hope, I had a great time coming to you guys. I feel better. Man, and you actually feel better when you do stuff you say you're going to do. Like, I had it in my mind. I said, I'm going to start coming live, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. I just honestly been bogged down with just trying to finish the things that I already had on tap. God bless, I've been busy and people been calling on me, so I'm not tripping and mad at that. It's just that I needed to, people pay you. You got to get things done, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I wanted to get finished what I had on tap, and now was perfect timing. There's never always a perfect timing to do what you say you want to do, but I saw a gap in time where I'm able to go ahead and concentrate on trying to get things in order. 100% to the process to implement the process of what I'm looking forward to doing. 100%. So now is a great time. So I'm the other day was pushing it to the limit. Today is creativity, and the next one is going to be selfish. So remember, everyone, on me getting ready to sign out, make sure you have originality, balance. You manifest that idea of originality. You experiment with that, and then you sit back and see how it feels. And then if it feel right, make some, keep rolling with it. But you always got to kind of circle back and do that process all over again as you keep moving and grooving forward. Originality, balance, manifestation, experimentation, and how you feel. How you feel at the end of the day is a big component. Sometimes you kind of can't go off of what you feel. Sometimes you got to go off of what's logic, and so because feelings will fool you. But when it comes to when you're trying to be creative, feeling is a lot of part of that. You know what I mean? So if it feels right and it serves the purpose and people like it and they're responding to it, you got to see how they feel. Maybe not a lot of the time how you feel, but how the clientele feel. Because you might not actually really, really like it a whole bunch, but if the clientele feels good about it and they respond and they paying you for it, then you gotta go what pays the bills, right? You got to do that, right? So that's that. And I think I was all right with this today. I think hopefully I helped somebody, and if not, you can come back and maybe I help somebody. Maybe this post might help somebody in a year from now. But the next one we're going to be talking about be selfish. And so I say thanks for joining the Every Other Day meeting or the Every Other Day podcast. That's probably what I might call it, the Every Other Day podcast. And we go from there, y'all. With that, I say keep God first, family second, and you third. And in that order, you should never be last, because the last is always made first. And I believe that. All right. Learn something new. Talk to you in a minute.